Hello and welcome back, consumers. I'm Altari, the professional gamer, and have you been wondering how to get red runic leashes or crimson runic leashes? That is what this video is intended to answer for you. Not only are we going to show you who or what NPC that you get them from, but also a really great location in order to farm them. And these particular sub relics are used for a lot of the high-end magical crafts. This includes things that have fire procs on them for weapons. They are both incredibly useful, and I have noticed a lot of people have been looking for ways to farm them. So for this particular farm, we are located in Ancien, and we are just to the west of Gravas, and you can see that we're actually at the secret entrance to one of the northernmost dungeons in this kind of secret entrance area. There's also two other secret entrances to the dungeons in Ancien right here, as well as the large dungeon that's in the middle, but we are focused on this northernmost secret entrance right here, and you can see the cave. So for this particular run, you are going to want to have at least 6 players with decent gear. We are going to be fighting against Hellions, specifically bloated Hellions, and that is going to require at least a lot of coordination, if not a decent amount of players in order to cover this. So we do have a full group. There is also a really great relic that you can get from here from Gatekeeper Montel, which is going to unlock the ability to craft leather vambraces called Montel's vambraces. Gives you Loios Favor II. All right, so we headed down into the dungeon, and here we are. We have 6 of the Golden Company's finest, and it goes without saying that we are only in Jack of Plate gear here. We are not incredibly over geared for this dungeon. We are in pretty much the bare minimum that I would say would be required. And this is literally right when you enter into the back door of the dungeon. So here is Gatekeeper Montel, and you can see that there is just a huge amount of bloated Hellions all present in this first room right at the entrance of the dungeon. And that is why we are here. We are looking to just wipe all of these guys out. Now, we are going to pretty much be using Pacify here in order to make sure that all of the different mobs are not getting aggroed. And if they were, we would just get completely wiped off the face of this map really, really quickly, because they are just, there's too much damage that these all can do. Bloated Hellions are no joke. So what we're doing right now is going around and making sure that everyone is pacified. At the end of the day, this is really the only spell that is necessarily required. However, it is incredibly highly recommended that you bring Pilgrim's Fire with you as well, because that will help you burn down a lot of these Hellions. And if you also have some heals, like maybe Divine Remedy 2 or Radiant Mend 1, which we have a video coming out for Radiant Mend 1 as well, we highly recommend bringing some healing spells as well. So we went ahead and pulled Gatekeeper Montel just to get him out of the way. He is a chonky guy, and there's actually a blog post about Gatekeeper Montel, and we're gonna have a lore video about him and this entire dungeon coming out in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout. It's gonna be our first ultimate dungeon guide. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe so you can get notified when we do come out with that video. All right, so we're gonna continue to pull all of the different Hellions here in order to kind of draw them down to a point where it's a little bit more sustainable. You can see that we're trying to throw some fireballs. As long as you can get 2 fireballs on one of these Hellions, then you are going to start doing burning damage. It's not altogether that much, but it's better than nothing, and it does help you get that DPS in as quick as possible to get them down. Bloated Hellions, like I said, they are absolutely no joke. Now, here we also have a Zebian Cormorant that we're just going to pull to kind of get out of the way, and these dudes drop really, really quickly. They're not necessarily a challenge. It's just better to get them done with before we start pulling 6 bloated hellions at the same time. All right, so we're just healing up here, and we're gonna get ready to pacify some of these in the big mob. Now, the important attribute to this particular farm is that it's very mistake prone, or there's a lot of ways that you can mess up in these pulls. Sometimes the mobs will aggro, sometimes they won't. But the good news, and the reason why this is such a useful farm, is that the respawn location is quite literally 10 steps behind us right now. So if we do mess up and we get a party wipe or anything like that, recovery is super easy. You can literally pull your gear from the respawn location as long as you died in this pool, which you would because this is where we're farming. So now you will probably see a great example coming up here of this large pull that we are about to get. And sometimes these mobs just generate a lot of threat off of something for no reason. And here they kind of come. And it looks like our archer generated some aggro there, but we're just gonna group them up and do as much damage as we can. This is where Shield Bash comes in handy. If you have a one-handed maul or a two-handed maul, using the stuns for that as well are highly, highly desirable. And that is really, really going to be very useful for you here. Now, the important thing is that we are quite literally here to just kill all of these bloated hellions. They are the mobs that are going to be dropping the red leashes as well as the crimson spirit leashes as well. And now we have this kind of unintentional pull. You're going to see them start continually trickling in. That is something that was unfortunate, but it does happen. And you can see that we already got 3 Crimson Runic Leashes. We have gotten a lot of these just farming this dungeon for an hour. The respawns happen about every 13 to 14 minutes. And we are just trying to survive here at this point in time. And getting a pull like this is not necessarily the end of the world, but when you don't have them all grouped up together, it becomes really, really difficult. Now, I did unfortunately die here. I was kind of caught out of position, but fortunately, you can respawn because you are literally right next to the entrance of the dungeon. So that's what I did here. I picked up all of my gear. I was literally on top of my gear as I passed away, and that is why this is such an easy to do farm, because even if you're getting killed, you can just come back, and as long as your whole party's not dying at the same time, you're really going to be able to take care of this entire room pretty quickly and without risk of losing gear because of a unscheduled pull or something like that, kind of what we just had here. So now we're just going to clear out these final 3 bloated hellions, and really what you're targeting are these bloated hellions. So maybe you're located somewhere else around the creation and you found a pretty good location, something similar to this. If you are trying to find red runic leashes or crimson runic leashes, bloated hellions are the ones that you really should be looking for. I believe they have the highest drop chance for both of them. Their loot tables are pretty good. And this is, in my opinion, the best way to farm them. I haven't found a better way. Let me know down in the comments if you have a better location to really farm these out, because I was really, really well surprised here. We've been using this farm in order to get enough of those leashes to make some blaze weapons, which has been really, really great. In fact, we're gonna have a video coming out in the next couple of weeks showing one of the best places to get those. And you can see right here, we'll pick this up, and then there are 3 more red runic leashes. And that was just one run through this dungeon, and I was only looting a couple of these bloated hellions. We can get somewhere around 15 to 20 every hour of both. But that is all that we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like if you enjoy this type of content. Subscribe so you can get notified whenever new content comes out. And share this video with any of your friends who are trying to find out where to get those crimson or red runic leashes. All right, until next video, I'm Altai, the Professional Gamer.